All right. What is going on, Misfits? Today is February 15th, and as usual, it's my job to go over the Watch Zone leaderboards. Well, Bleeding Edge leaderboards, whatever. But before I do that, and I'm going to be very honest, this actually has to be done. Before I actually get into that, it should be not pretty obvious, but for those of you who actually do care about the stuff that I do here, the past week or so I haven't been like super active necessarily, and the reason why is just because not necessarily anything to do with the channel or anything, but just, you know, basic life stuff, right? So last week I had to take some time off to just do some other stuff and just refigure myself, but basically the gist of what I'm trying to say is, as a whole, I have a goal that I still want to do stuff for this channel, but in order for me to do it, I'm going to need to take some time off of doing certain things. So basically, to summarize all this shit, I'm still going to be doing Watch Zone videos, but you guys are just going to be seeing a lot less Watch Zone videos than you normally would see. Like, I try to do, if not every day, every other day or something like that, or at least every other video every other day or something like that. I try to do something like that, and because I'm trying to do something new, which is basically I'm trying to learn how to do a lot better in my understanding of computer code and computer languages and all this stuff, because I'm going to be attempting to actually go back to doing school later in this year, and I want to actually prepare for certain things. So with that being said, it's just going to cut into my time a little bit differently than how I normally would do my normal stick throughout the entire year. But this time it's just going to be a little different from this fourth going on. I'm just going to be a lot more busier. But like I said, with that being said, that doesn't mean I'm going to do less Watch Zone videos. In fact, when it comes to the videos that I do want to do, as I look at these notes that I put down, there's still a few things that I feel like you can actually do in terms of helping people actually play and understand Bleeding Edge a lot better. And in my opinion, even though we do have, let me see, even though we do have these community featured, as soon as it loads in, even though we do have these community videos, right? Damon Guide, a Buttercup Guide, a Nidhogger Guide, even though we do have these things, as I look for it, there's a cast guide, there's a macro guide. Yeah, even though we do have these things, custom queue and more, there's Azrael, the opening beginner's guide. I don't think these things are a tried and true representation of what you can actually do in Bleeding Edge. And granted, I would probably have to go through these guys to actually understand a bit more of probably what they have in them. But what I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, there should also be, if not necessarily just a tried and true guide that I have on my channel, there should be a few more videos dedicated to how to actually play Buttercup a lot better in terms of the mods that she actually uses and stuff like that. You know, how to actually play Damon as well as Gizmo a lot better, because a lot of people tend to not go to the characters that they just don't feel comfortable with, which is honestly why I don't play certain characters, because if I don't feel comfortable playing them, then I'm just not going to do that. But I honestly feel that we should do something for the newer players out there that just want a few more tips on how to play certain characters better. So yeah, like I said, I think that we should do character tips as well as how to play better in general, as well as the effects of a good parry. A lot of people in Bleeding Edge, don't get me wrong, parrying is like crazy hard. If you're doing like a 3v1 situation, it's almost impossible to parry. But understanding what you can do with each character in terms of how you can actually parry, depending on the situation, parrying can save your life and actually flip the tide of the battle. Like, it really can. Parrying can sometimes stop the flow of that aggressive player that just wants to mash buttons all the time. But if they can't get their full button and combo string out, they're going to start to evaluate how they should actually approach you. And then next thing you know, they're going to think that they need to dash away and maybe do something unique, but that just puts them at a disadvantage. You know, parrying in this game seems like it doesn't seem very strategic, but I feel like we should actually do something along the lines of that as well. Also, I think that people should understand their dashes better. And in my opinion, that could be in the ultimate beginner's guide if it wants to line up correctly. That could be inside of this ultimate beginner's guide here. It could be, I don't know. But the understanding of how you should be using your dashes and the more important way of using your dashes, let's be honest, your dashes are used as an escape mechanism, but you don't have to dash every single time. And if we're being honest, sometimes people use their dashes preemptively without thinking because they don't realize the amount of time that it takes for your dashes to come back. And in fact, the number of times, how can I say it? If you're using your dashes to approach someone or close the distance between someone, depending on the character you're using, that's not necessary. Because, you know, in a serious situation, once you start getting completely hammered by, let's say, Buttercup, and you have a small character that can't handle those knockdown hits, or, you know, basically Buttercup can cause Damon's active animation when he's attacking. She can knock him out of that animation and completely take over the entire thing. And if Damon doesn't use any dashes because he used them insignificantly, then yeah, you're going to get cleaned. Also, another thing I think we should do is how to win certain matchups. Because don't get me wrong, certain matchups, this like win or lose, depending on the player, you don't know what to do necessarily. Depending on the player, if it's a good Damon player, that Damon player just might kill you. But the majority of the time, when you approach a certain character and you don't have a character that can, let's say, do melee attacks, say, Kulav. Kulav cannot swing, but I've seen people try to approach Kulav and it's been the worst decision that they've ever made because that person probably understands what to do against their opponent that's trying to come up against them. Now, granted, Kulav should always stay next to his team, but sometimes you really can't help it, and things like obviously understanding your mod and what, let's say, Damon or Cass can't necessarily do in certain situations. You know, it just all adds up inside this game, which is something that I think should also be very much hammered to as well. Another thing would be, I've said this before, but I think we should do community spotlights. And what I mean by that is every now and then I should take the time to basically like, let's say if there's a certain person that plays a character very, very well, like let's say it's God's Canadian, just thinking of random names off the top of my head at this point. You know, like God's Canadian, Insane, and then we have you know, like Pole DT, all these great players out there and everything, right? I really think that if we do that, we can actually show off how to play Zero at a very, very not high level, because you know a lot of people like to say high level gameplay, but stuff like this can actually help people be a lot more comfortable with what to do with Zero. And in fact, Zero is one of the more, I wouldn't say he's an advanced character, but trying to heal your team and not get completely eliminated by the other team takes a lot of understanding of what Zero actually excels at. And a lot of people just don't know what to do in serious situations when it comes to Zero. You'd be surprised at the things that Zero can actually do. I've seen people not necessarily tank, but I've seen people go on some serious killing sprees with Zero simply because, granted, they could be paired up with a team that understands the Zero player themselves, or they just understand how to play Zero, basically. And yeah, with that being said, like I said, there's going to be certain people that know how to play Zero a lot better than certain people. And I feel like if we actually observe how great their gameplay is, you can learn a thing or two, you know? So yeah, that's just basically all I want to say. A few things are going to basically slow down in terms of the amount of uploads that I do. But in terms of, like, let's say, the stuff that I actually want to do in terms of Bleeding Edge, I still want to continue to do that. Alright, and with that being said, it's time to get into some leaderboards. And I've actually been waiting to do leaderboards for quite some time today. So like I said, we're going to go through and do things a little different. We're going to go through the very niche things that don't show in terms of total wins, killing blows, healing, total class score, etc. So with that being said, instead we're going to start from right to left. Leading in total class score this week, we have Juice Box, not Juke, Juice Box, as well as Dr. Vector, Drkin Potate, Howlu, Zombie Queen, Defcon 44, Smaven Haven, Evergrey. Juicebox comes in again, but this time with a different character. A Dirty Yoshi after Omalis Almat something. Not sure what that says. And Diarkin Patate comes in again as Buttercup. But in total damage this week, we have Juicebox again coming in at number 1. After Omalis is number 2 this week. Zombie Queen is number 3. Darth Vector. I think it's Vector, but you know, number 4. Salutable Medusa is number 5. Total healing this week goes to God's Canadian. Number 2, we have Zombie Queen. Number 3, we have a Dirty Yoshi coming in again. Number 4, Dirk Patate. And 5, after Omalis again. Total wins this week coming in at a number of 27. Zombie Queen. Number 2, we got God's Canadian. Juicebox 83 has 23 wins this week. Darth Vector has 22. And number 5 is After Omalis with 21 wins currently this week as it stands as I'm doing this right now. In terms of killing blows, we have Zombie Queen with 194. After Omalis, 183. Darth Vector has 174. Juicebox trails along just at 171. House Sam 64 comes at 143. All right. Weekly tops. All right. Starting in our top performance category, we have Sunjin Choi. Yeah. We have Sunjin Choi doing top performance, playing as Maeve. Dos Pogo playing as Zero. Mystic Hero plays as Demon. Hao Lu chooses to play as Cass. Too Blunt chooses to play as Gizmo. Dos Pogo comes in again, but this time playing as Kulab. Sakura Mikio goes in as Buttercup. Damada Flamo 23 as Meko. Smaven Haven again comes in on this category as El Bastardo. Gord 63 as Azriel. Fatter Grain 2 Makudu. Ben So as Nidhogger, and Mr. Kiro as Miko. In terms of top damage, look at this. Sellable. I don't know why I keep saying salutable, dude. I'm so sorry. Sellable Medusa with about 25,000 in damage this week. Hao Lu goes around 22,000 damage. Requiem Joke does around 21,000. The True Pillager does 20,000 damage this week. And Mystic Hero does about trailing along just a little bit under True Pillager, around 20,000 as well. In terms of top healing, God's Canadian does at least 23,000 on heals. Zombie Queen does 22,000. Requiem Joke follows up with 22,000 as well. Dos Pogo comes in with 22,000 again, and Mystic Hero follows up with top healing in 21,000. In terms of top win rate, I like the fact that I don't think I've seen this name before. Gorked Orc for 20 has a 100% win rate as well as everybody else, as well as YouTube Gains, Hunt Tunes, Noah Game 50, and Constant Poet 127. And finally, in terms of top killing blows, Sunjin Choi, Stay Anonymous has 18. Zombie Queen has 17, while literally trailing behind each other in order. Zombie Queen has 17, Mr. Hero has 16, Raffle Waffle has 15. And that's just as it stands up today on my side of the world at 1:40 p.m. And finally, in terms of overall rank in our world leaderboards, we have, again, even though this can change, and I'm not going to lie, I'm coming for somewhere inside the top 100, which is why I've been playing recently. We have Odd 52 as well as Gunked coming in at number 2. Neat Elephant is number 3. God's Canadians at number 4. Darth Vector is 5th. Hahime Japan is number 6. Median Bonsai at number 7. Garagura at number 8. Ben Soul at number 9. And House Sam comes in at number 10. But relax, because we have a few more people to go over. And next we have... I was confused how to actually go through this. Should I scroll or just... That's gonna be annoying. Alright, I'm gonna have to slow scroll. Anyway, Die Force comes in at number 11, and we also have Rubber Ducky, MC Klaus, Insane, Dos Pogo, FMG 22, Juanito 366, Evergray, Gorge 63, Black Buscal, The True Pillinger, Zombie Queen, Carly Marquez, Born Superset 62, Darth Deathbreed, Male, haven't seen that name I don't think, A Dirty Yoshi, Rich Ken Kanaki, Anti-Cosmic, CR7 Shadow, Trigger X Soul, Howlu, Noah, at least I think that's Noah. Dada Boo, Tackled Record 27, Serena Trista, Constant Poet, Jukes Call Girl, Doweed, TB Perp, Lamal Kingpin, RZ Lucifer, Blobfish Pro, what's up? Quagion, Smaven Haven, Private Drop 1085, Whip, Striking Skate 67, Scullia, Defcon 44, Burby 92, Pooch, Drafty Cave, Warning Nest, Exotic Alpha, Pony Catuus, Mystic Hero, Fran Aranha, Conquer or Die, Rollin' 20, One and Alone, Recreate Joke, Space Bunny, Machiavelli Dios, Ghost Rex BR, Max Cheapo Frito, Space Cat 22, Agreeing Wheat, Uda 95, Vita Huz, Shark Baby BR, Castellan, I always never get this person's name perfectly. Castellan, Waxy Corona, Polo GT, Siori JC, Beware the Mayor, Gon Hado, Alex DJ ML, Dooley VE, Oats 07, Shashe, I think I never got that correct, Metastrike 1234, Alma Negra, Alex Yo, Mountain Squid, Mount Thrasher, even though you can tend to be a bit of a lever as I've witnessed, Exarion 21, Mason Main, Wanda Maximoff, Mason Araget, Fat Cat 1223, Shadow Ghost, Cannibal, Death Dealer, Ocean Man 21, Jukebox Hero, Onyx God, Hanzo, Iskaritis, and number 100 is Taco de Frijo. Wait, Taco de Frijo. Wait, that's not. That's not. Oh, Max Cheapo Frito. Okay. I was like, all right. Well, there you go, Taco de Frijo. And that is it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. And another thing I just wanted to actually throw out there before I actually do go entirely. I feel like a lot of people take Bleeding Edge way too seriously, dude. And this is probably just going to be an ending rant for the rest of this game. But I feel like people take this game, obviously I don't have to tell you guys, but I don't want to start doing toxic teammate videos again, but like, understand something. I play this game for fun, and if you ever see me playing this game, I'm playing for fun. I could care less if I beat you, I could care less if you beat me. But one thing I just will not tolerate, if you ever play with me by any chance, if I'm just not doing the greatest, it might just be because I'm choosing to play at a late night and I'm tired, or I'm just not choosing to play the greatest right now. But it really bothers me that some people actually want to win every single game in Bleeding Edge, and it's like, the reason why I'm saying this is because I've recently been playing with a friend of mine, and this is why I actually want to harp on this. I don't know what's going on with Bleeding Edge for everyone else, but after 2 years, I finally have someone in my actual friend group of 5 people that I know in my friend circle that I know in real life is actually choosing to play Bleeding Edge. As well as she also tells me that she also has other people that she knows in real life that are choosing to play Bleeding Edge as well. So I'm not sure if it's anything that I'm doing necessarily on my channel, but it just goes to show that Bleeding Edge is still a good game to actually play. But the thing I'm trying to actually get people to understand is the state of this game cannot get better, or your teammates and your players cannot get better if you constantly thrash them for not knowing how to play or doing well, and then you leave mid-game. Or if you try to choose to say something, they should honestly get rid of the chat wheel. I don't know why they did that. Or if you choose to say some toxic stuff in the chat, will, like, for the past week or so, I haven't been doing videos, but I've been queuing up with this person so that they can learn how to play. They don't have to play amazingly, but you know, I just want to tell them like, hey, when this happens, stick next to me. When this happens, do not engage yet. Let this person who's playing as, you know, let this zero person, not zero, obviously. Let like Albastardo or Cash or Maeve go in first, observe who they attack, and as soon as you observe who they attack, you follow up on who they attack, and then I will follow up right after you, you know, etc. Just trying to teach this person the structure of the flow of how things should be. They don't have to know about, you know, the crazy stuff that you can do with Damon, where you can cancel different moves into other things. They don't necessarily need to know that yet. They need to know what is their role, what can their character do, what can their character do against other characters to circumvent certain things, basically. And that's all I want to teach this person, because, like I said, it really surprises me that more people are choosing to play Bleeding Edge. But people are similar to the beginning of this game. People are not going to play this game if people are trying to thrash them for not, you know, not healing or not doing something else. And I'll admit, there are some times when I'm playing with the team and I'm just like, what the fuck is everyone doing? But in the same sense, like, you can get a hint of when you're about to lose a match. Like, I will come in and I would do my best Buttercup, but if I'm doing good as Buttercup, but I notice that I'm not getting any heals and I'm in the middle of a 3v1 and I notice that my teammates are off dicking around, like getting a power cell without announcing, I mean, you know, getting power cells or power-ups without announcing that they're going for something, or they're not grouping up and stuff like that, I just deal with it, because, you know, they're getting used to the game itself. And the only way for people to get better at this game, unfortunately, isn't through going into training inside the dojo. Like, the dojo is an alright place for you practicing your moves, but when it comes to facing your opponent online, you have to understand, like, you know, how does Albastardo usually play when he's gonna approach me? Like, how is Cass gonna play when he usually approaches me? When Maeve drops down a cage, which is another thing I was saying about dashing. When Maeve drops down her cage, you have a chance to actually dodge out of it. And I've done it accidentally, but it's just like I said, dude, there's a lot of stuff that can be said about this game still, but one of the things I want to actually have everyone understand is, please stop getting upset when you can't win every game. Guess what? There are sometimes going to be people that I know I queue up with who is a rando, and I know they suck, but I don't care. Why? Because my job is to just try to do better at playing at the character that I like. I want to just do better at playing at Kulab, do better at the leaderboard. If it loses, whatever. Like, you can't be concerned about your win rate. Like, how can I say this, dude? And I know this is the end of, I've never done this before in a while. Yo, do you know how many times I've played Call of Duty or some other game like that, and I'm the MVP on my team, but we still lose? As many times as I've gone like 30-0 and gone like a tactical nuke in Call of Duty, but we still lose? I just got used to that. Like, sometimes you're going to carry the team and the team's just still not going to win. But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to say is, guys, we got to stop allowing, one, not just video games in general, but two, free games that don't cost you anything unless you bought it on Steam for some odd reason, or you don't have Game Pass for some odd reason. But one, this game is free. Two, you don't get paid any money at the end of the day for this game. Three, this game, like, quite literally is just a community-based game that's meant to be fun. I really don't understand why people just want to win every single match inside this game and then really get up. How can you get upset over a game that is just meant to be fun and it's free? Like, just deal with it, dude. But whatever. That's just me. And honestly, if you're that type of person that just wants to be toxic to, like, and if honestly, if you see me, you want to be toxic to me, you got another thing coming. Because I do this YouTube, but I'm very fluent with my words. And guess what? I will make sure that if you oppose against me on the opposite team, you're just gonna be my opponent. I'm just gonna make it so difficult for you to play. And I hope your teammates suck too, so that you can be even more frustrated. I don't know where this rant went through, but guys, that's it. I just wanted to talk about the state and nature of what's going on with me, as well as, you know, the state of this channel and Bleeding Edge in general. Because in my opinion, I still say that since we can get games fairly often. I mean, granted, on my side of the world at night, it gets a little hard. It's like 10-minute search queues, but you know what happens. Anyway, if you listen to this entire rant, that means you must really like me a lot more than I thought. As always, my name is Chaos the Gamer. I love this game. And yeah, without trailing on too long, GG's.